princess of the underwater kingdom, has crystal clear blue eyes and a softly colored tail like the sky. Every time she danced in the water, it was as if a fairy was dancing in the sea. One day, she accidentally drifted into the human world and met a handsome prince. From that moment, the prince's brave and strong face, his intense and eager eyes, deeply imprinted in her heart. But in her heart, she knows that the love between a mermaid and a human is as distant as two mountains. When the king discovered her contact with humans, Aileen was magically called back to the deep sea and prevented from rising to the surface again. However, when trapped in the deep abyss, her longing for love became more intense, just like the sea pulled by the tide blocking her yearning for the human world. Each time she saw the moonlight illuminate the sea, Aileen would imagine what the human world looked like. There was her deeply loved prince. There were her endless dreams. Aileen knew that she had to find a way to return to the human world and find her love every day in the underwater world. Aileen secretly planned her great escape. She continuously studied human knowledge, deciphered their language, tried to understand their way of thinking. She salvaged old books from sunken ships in the ocean, glowing faintly in the light of her fish scales, reading in the gentle sway of the sea waves. Each story, each custom, was like a window, showing her the prosperity and diversity of the human world. Aileen knew that to survive on land, this knowledge was essential. Day after day, night after night, Aileen's plans became clearer, and her desire to escape from the sea grew stronger. On a star-filled night at the bottom of the sea, Aileen mapped out a path to the human world in her heart. It was a path full of challenges, yet also full of anticipation. It was the road of hope for her reunion with the prince. The glow of hope always shimmered in Aileen's eyes. With the help of her many friends, she learned about an ancient sea dragon that was sleeping deep in the sea, was knowledgeable, and knew everything. Aileen quietly approached the still sleeping sea dragon, using the gentlest and most trusting language to try wake it. The sea dragon opened its obsidian-like eyes wide, staring at the determined mermaid before it. The moment the sea dragon woke up, Aileen's heart raced as she asked him the way to escape from the deep sea. The sea dragon told Aileen how she could leave the sea. The sea dragon, knowing Aileen was about to leave, told her an old legend. Only on a full moon night, swallowing the heart of the sea, could the mermaid's tail become human legs. Furthermore, he told her how to obtain it. Aileen remembered this method and decided to fulfill her dream and find her beloved prince once she arrived in the human world. With boundless determination and perseverance, Aileen took each failure as an opportunity for growth. She tried repeatedly, finally succeeded in getting past the guards, and stepped into the human world again. At that moment, she felt an unprecedented freedom and an unprecedented tension. Her eyes were instantly attracted by a plethora of colors, and her ears were captivated by a variety of sounds. But what she remembered most was the scent of the land. Following the method of the sea dragon, she swallowed the heart of the sea. Her nimble tail gradually lost its former smoothness and agility, forming human legs. The first day she walked on the beach, the sun illuminated her body. Her heart was filled with gratitude and hope. knowing she was getting closer to her dream. A stranger human world became her new stage to pursue love. Seeing the city in the distance glowing with a golden light in the sun, she knew that her prince was there, waiting for her arrival. Her heart was filled with infinite courage and expectation. Ready to embrace her new life, Aileen was determined to find her prince. So she began searching for traces of the prince throughout the seaside city. Despite facing various challenges, including language barriers and the unfamiliar environment, Aileen never gave up. Her firm eyes were filled with anticipation for the future and deep longing for the prince. Each day, Aileen cast her bright eyes into the crowd. With each encounter, her heart beat fast, hoping it was the prince she was looking for. Each disappointment, she would tell herself that it was just part of the journey. The next day, she would continue her search again. Her perseverance was eventually rewarded. On a breezy day, Aileen finally saw him, her beloved prince, on the bustling street. Although she was now in a strange human world, unable to swim freely, she was already content to meet him on land. Because she knew, no matter how difficult the road ahead, as long as they love each other, they can overcome all difficulties. Seeing the figure of the prince, Aileen's heart suddenly started to move. A strong passion filled her entire body in an instant. She knew that even if there were thorns and bushes ahead, she would forge ahead and pursue her love. At that moment, Aileen's heart reinforced her goal. It was a powerful belief that could resist all storms. Inside that castle, genuine feelings sprouted between Aileen and the prince. Aileen revealed her origin, how she had transformed from a mermaid of the sea to a human. She explained how she chose to abandon her familiar world just to pursue her love. The prince listened to her story, his eyes sparkling with deep affection and admiration. He was deeply moved by Aileen's determination and courage. This beautiful mermaid challenged the unknown and journeyed far for love. Her sincerity filled his heart with awe and love. This story was not just about Aileen's adventure, but also her persistence in love and her pursuit of freedom. Her story made the prince love her even more. The reflection in his pupils was nothing but Aileen's determined yet affectionate gaze. He knew he had fallen deeply in love with Aileen. The two of them became even more deeply attached to each other. Their stares, their gentleness, their understanding signified that their hearts had become deeply entwined, making them the most loving couple. Their faith in love became even stronger. They believed that no matter what difficulties they encountered, nothing could stop them from continuing, because their hearts were tied tightly together, inseparable. Suddenly, a message emerged in front of them from the deep sea. It was sent by the king of the Sea Kingdom to Aileen, who had escaped from the sea, to convey a huge secret and to reveal Aileen's real identity as a princess. After Aileen left, life in the Sea Kingdom had become dark and gloomy. The king's mood had shifted from the sadness of losing his beloved daughter to missing and worrying about Aileen. He finally understood that Aileen's ideals were not out of rebellion, but were her yearning for freedom, her persistence in her dreams, and her pursuit of love. For Aileen's happiness, the king was willing to put aside his stubbornness and selfishness and put Aileen's happiness first. Therefore, he decided to send out his deepest blessings. Aileen, after hearing this message, was filled with emotion and excitement. Her previously tense mood finally relaxed. She knew that her love and dreams had finally been understood and accepted by her family. From then on, she could wholeheartedly live in this strange world with her beloved, and together pursue their happiness